The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
For the first time in 50 days, it is a Victory Monday here on Talkin Cowboys. 34-26, the Cowboys take down Dan Quinn in D.C. The Commanders said, we want Dallas. Well, guess what? You got Dallas, baby. The Cowboys get their fourth win of the year. Does it change what the season looks like?
No.
No, it does not. Does it change the way that you attack day-to-day basis within the building?
No.
Probably not. However, it does show why we love the sport of football.
Damn right.
Why we play the games. And why winning is so much fun. 34-26, you take down a division rival. You do so in wild fashion. I mean, this was a 3-3 game at halftime. It ends up with 31 points for the Cowboys. It ends up with 23 points for the Commanders. 51 combined points, or 54 combined points between the two of them. Sure enough, you end up on top and you get win number 4. I know half of the fan base wants a draft pick. We've told you on Talkin Cowboys before. We ain't about that.
Nah.
We ain't about that tank life.
Nah.
That's not the case. Cowboys get the win, and it was a whole lot of fun to watch, Pat.
Listen.
You saying it with your chest?
Mustard!
Mustard on the beat.
Mustard on the beat. Listen, it is one thing.
like what?
It is one thing to get a win, especially when that win ends a 5-game losing streak, right? But to do it on the road against a longtime bitter divisional foe who had the audacity, the nerve, the unmitigated gall to say you wanted Dallas 3 weeks ago after you beat the Giants?
Let's not get carried away. We play them this week, guys.
No, what I'm saying is, okay. Okay.
I don't want the same thing to happen to us.
Point being, you called out, like you said in the intro,
you did.
You called out the Cowboys as if the Cowboys weren't already going through some things. So calling out the Cowboys at that point, it's like, what were you doing? But careful what you wish for. Cowboys went up there at Northwest Stadium, and I cannot say enough about the defense. I know things got unbelievably crazy in the fourth quarter. I said on Twitter and Blue Sky last night, I was like, it felt like a fever dream. Like I felt like I was going to wake up at any moment. And as it turns out, I was dying from malaria, and none of that actually happened in real life. But outside,
I get what you're saying, though.
it was like a hallucination.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Unicorns and tripping balls. So
yeah.
It's one of those situations. So, but outside of that, man, the defense came to play. I mean, they came to play smash mouth football, and that was the best defensive effort of the season for the Cowboys.
No doubt.
2 interceptions, fumble recovery, 4 sacks. Everybody was involved. Shouts out to Josh Butler. You go into this game.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday to Josh Butler as well. You come out in this game, Trevon Diggs, he's ruled out. Deron Bland, first game back, probably going to be some rust, and he's going to be on the pitch count. Kalen Carson made inactive. And then you look at what was happening on the offensive line, Tyler Smith and Zach Martin. Everybody's like, oh, Commanders are going to run through this team. And, rightfully, it was a stance to have. It was a lot of adversity.
No doubt.
Cowboys locker room, those guys were not having any of it, man. They stood up, they stood tall, and they gave the Cowboys offense chance after chance after chance after chance. They fought through exhaustion. Normally they get gassed in the third quarter. There was no third quarter implosion for the defense. So
you thought maybe there might be.
Absolutely.
At first.
This was a defensive
They
effort.
tried in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Be it what they may. They tried in the fourth quarter.
They gave the old college try. But no, man, seriously, man, shouts out to this locker room. Shouts out to this coaching staff. And, yeah, it was fun to watch. And being there in person, seeing that, I've never experienced a football game like that in my life.
No, and I don't even want to wax poetic on it. You just needed that win so badly. Yeah. So, like, who cares about a draft pick, man? And I think I said this on the air on Friday, is that more than anything, just win the dang ball game, man. Mm-hmm. And you got to think that there was a chip on Mike McCarthy's shoulder to go out there against Dan Quinn and get a win. And part of me is like, okay, I loved what Mike McCarthy did. I said he needed to get in his bag in this one. So it's like, all right, what has been our Achilles heel on defense, since Dan Quinn was defensive coordinator? And it's run defense.
Yeah, stopping the
run.
Right?
Stopping the run.
Yeah.
What'd you decide to do as Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys? But run the dang ball as much as you can with our boy, Rico! Did he do it yet?
There it is.
So you gotta love what you saw from Rico, and not that he killed him on the ground. He didn't do a Saquon Barkley and run for 255 yards on the ground.
That was wild too.
He didn't do that.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. But the Dallas Cowboys, the intent was there. We're gonna run the ball down your throat, and we're gonna smash mouth our way through this entire game. You saw it from Cooper Rush, dude. Cooper Rush being decisive, being careful with the football, and being able to manage, not just manage, but overperform as Cooper Rush does, right? In this game.
That's fair.
This small sample size of this game, it was just great to see, man. It was uplifting almost, like I felt emotional at the end of that game. Granted, you let
emotionally wiped.
Yes, you let Scary Terry get them back into the game. Yeah. However, all that considered, as soon as Cavante Turpin, man, as soon
all
as
right, I'm gonna let you say it. Go ahead and say it, man.
Oh, the people have said it.
Oh, they've said it
because Beam is trying to get his nickname off. That's fine.
Turpmanian Devil.
Is that wait? That's Beamer's nickname?
Torpedo.
That's a good one.
He's trying to get Torpedo off.
I had
That's
to
fine.
switch to Turpmanian Devil after that spin move.
That was good.
That was because that was nasty work.
Turbo Terp. I've seen that a couple times.
That's a good one too.
But do you know what I saw in my mentions all day yesterday?
I saw it too.
I saw it in my
Derpy, speed, baby. Come on, man.
That's going to be hard to beat.
Turpy, speed. It rolls off the tongue. That spin move absolutely won the game for us, man. Shouts to him. Shouts to everybody in my mentions for throwing out Turpy, speed, and in the pregame and the postgame.
Oh yeah, I hit it in the highlight reel. Don't you worry.
Okay,
I
got to see that one too.
Oh yeah, I got you. That's the thing though. It's like every time Turpin does anything, it's all of our mentions. Don't worry, Tommy. You're not immune to it.
Even
You'll
I
get
saw
it.
it. It wasn't even in my mentions
Good.
when I saw it.
Let's go. Turpy, speed. It is a movement. Don't fight it. Don't fight it.
I'm
Just
over it. Just
hop
let it
on
go.
and
Let it roll. Let it roll.
Honestly,
Exactly.
Let it roll.
It's not good on purpose. It just makes sense.
It does.
It's just so good.
You heard Joe Davis in the middle of the call as he was scoring fastest man in the NFL, which factually this year he is.
Accurate.
So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
What about you, Tommy? What'd you think?
I mean, we talk about, and we've asked, people have asked Mike McCarthy this, they ask players this all the time, the must-win games question, right? Like, is it a must-win game? When you look at this and you take an 11-point lead with 5 minutes and 16 seconds left to go, get punched back 2 minutes later, then punch right back immediately, and you go back up by 10 with 2:49, you're feeling really good. And then you give up 10 unanswered in less than 2 minutes. If this game had gone to overtime and the Cowboys dropped this game, you just wonder what that would have done. That would have been incredibly mentally draining. The good part, though, is we don't have to worry about that.
It would have been par for the course for this season,
Exactly. But this just shows this is a gritty win, and this is one that this locker room, I feel like, really, really, really needed. And going back to your point about Rico, he doesn't have to run for 150 yards a game. He just has to do enough to set up the passing game, because let's be honest, this Cowboys offense isn't reliant on the run.
No.
This is not a running offense. It's not their identity. It never was going to be this year. So if you open the door for Cooper Rush to do what he did and throw for 247 yards and 2 touchdowns, this is a much better team. And I think you saw that. You obviously want to see the defense play all 4 quarters and not let Terry McLaurin score with 21 seconds left to play in the game. But you take your win. I think this was Mike Zimmer's best game as a defensive coordinator with the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
Throughout the majority of the game. Obviously, that last stretch, but to come out on the winning side of that, you take it.
I'll also add this, because one of the crux of my argument as far as the outfit in 24 being unsavory for Cooper Rush versus the outfit he stepped into in 2022, it was the offensive line. Brock Hoffman and T.J. Bass step to the front of the line, sirs. Fantastic performance by those 2 young men, and Cooper Beebe as well. It was gutsy. Absolutely.
One pressure? Was it one pressure?
Zero pressures for Cooper Beebe, 1 pressure each for Hoffman and Bass.
Wow.
And they were both in the second half, too. Not in the first half when you were trying to establish a rhythm. They were both in the second half.
And that was against the defensive line in Washington that we came in. And, we came in and we gave them their roses. Said this is one of the better defensive lines in the NFL. And that is still true. But those 2 young men stepped in the absence of 2 All-Pros and just handled business. It allowed Cooper Rush time back there in the pocket to go through his reads and get comfortable. And once Cooper Rush got comfortable, yes, it took a while, because the first half offense, first 3 quarters, was a mix of inaccuracy, but then when he was accurate, there were some drops, right? But then, Tommy, you talk about punching back. Jalen Tolbert has the early drop. What does he give you in the third quarter? Your first third quarter touchdown of the season, right? Offensive touchdown of the season. Yeah, that's wild to say that, right? Jalen Brooks didn't have a great first half. What does he give you? A critical 40-plus yard catch down the sideline. Massive, right?
Ended up in 3 points before the break.
These guys have just been battling. The resilience in this one game is mind-blowing to show. So when not everybody, but when a lot of fans outside the building, they've been wondering, has Mike McCarthy lost the locker room? And we kept saying no. Have these guys checked out? And we kept saying no. Talk about the play from CeeDee Lamb. It was a DPI on Igbenogany.
Yep.
But after CeeDee,
I thought that stood out.
Right. After CeeDee looks at the ref like, where's my flag? And then it clicks. He's like, man, whatever. I got to get this play back. He goes, he hits and forces the fumble. Hunter Lipke recovers. And like I told CeeDee last night, I was like, you know what? That penalty negated the play, but the message sent can't be negated.
No doubt.
Effort, resiliency. That's what this locker room showed.
From week 2 CD to week 12 CD.
Oh, it's the growth for me.
That's growth. Yes.
I just want to see it start that way next year.
Of course.
Because it kind of happened last year, too, where it was a little shaky at the beginning and then it got better and better. I would like to see it start in week 1 next year.
Maybe a training camp might help.
That would be great.
Throw that in there.
That would, I think, sprinkle that in. It would make out. Now, I thought another play that stood out was Wanye Thomas.
Yes, sir.
And
man.
I know
on both the returns.
I didn't love the onside kick return. That's not really what I'm talking about here. You got to go down there. I know it was your first touchdown. I get it. It was a special moment.
Hey,
he got
CD's done the same thing.
100%.
CD's done the
and
same
I would
thing.
say the same thing to CD.
Yep.
Got to go down.
Got to go down.
You got to know the game situation.
That's
go
fair.
down. Make it happen. We saw it in. I was watching a college game this week, and the running back had a wide open lane to the end zone, and he slid down to secure a win. Lots of things happened at the end for the Cowboys, so it was crazy. Wanye Thomas decided to cross the goal line. But I'm going to go further back. The 2-point conversion. Jaden Daniels was rolling out on the bootleg right, and it was a designed run. He was trying to find a window, and there were layers to the defense. Donovan Wilson did not set the edge. But then there was a second guy on the outside that it was Wanye Thomas. Did not set the edge. Micah Parsons was a free runner, and it was designed to be a free runner to get to Jaden Daniels, but he was impeded because Wanye Thomas did not set the corner the way that he should have, set that edge and allow for Micah Parsons to run free to the quarterback. You saw Micah's reaction. Turned around. He's jumping up and down. He's clapping. He was talking to Wanye Thomas. One snap later, on the kick return for Kevontae Turpin, you talked about the ups and downs, Tommy, a moment ago, where it was, they get punched and counter-punched and back and forth. That play, who do you see leading the charge for Kevontae Turpin in the right place at the right time and with all the effort you've ever seen from an individual on a kick return? It was Wanye Thomas. So I think the way that you see that, there's learning moments on every snap for this Cowboys team. And even in a win, there's a lot that they're going to go back to, and they're going to say, we can't do that anymore. And they probably will still do it as the season goes along because, like we've talked about, this is not a very good football team right this second. But the effort was very good on Sunday, and that's all you can ask for in that specific moment.
And not only was the effort sensational, but this was some of the best execution I've seen. I mean, you talk about guys like Eric Kendricks, and we already know what DeMarvion Overshown is. He just continues to show what he is. But when you go down, even the defensive line, Chauncey Golston left to get an IV put in his arm because he was suffering from dehydration.
Had a pick.
And suddenly he comes back and he's snatching an interception away from Brian Robinson for his first career interception. Asked about it after the game, Chauncey Golston was like, I didn't even know it was an interception. I was just playing football.
Ball just showed up in his hands,
and the football was there, so I took it. And that's how the Cowboys did yesterday at Northwest Stadium. They saw football and they took it.
But you saw them creating turnovers too, like very unlike the Dallas Cowboys defense this year.
Forcing fumbles.
Like forcing fumbles. Like Donovan Wilson had one of his best games.
Yeah.
And while also
And that was in
simultaneously
coverage too, by the way. Shockingly
enough, right? Who was the Scary Terry touchdown on? Was that more so Josh Butler, who had a great game, to be fair?
So I think it was a breakdown defensively.
that was
also
on everybody.
Yeah,
throw
because
too.
J. Lou was up and he let Terry McLaurin go
Behind
over
him.
the top.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he thought Butler was
Right.
there on the
Supposed to be a
boundary.
handoff.
And I think Butler got a little bit too far inside and Scary Terry just went to space.
That was a great
Daniels
play,
delivered
man.
a great
And
ball.
that was a dot of a throw into that coverage. So
I think it was bad. I think it was busted coverage. Is
Just
all
busted
it was.
coverage.
And then Scary
Just
Terry
all
doing
around.
Scary Terry things.
Yeah,
the,
but like you said,
the one gaff on defense. The one.
Yeah.
That was one.
The one.
It was a big one.
that was a big one. It was a big one that could
could've
have
won,
cost you the
But
game.
you know what? I
Washington,
love what Micah said after the game. I asked him about the defensive effort and showing more than just a couple quarters and fighting through the exhaustion. And he immediately he was like, we can't have what happened at the back end of that game. We can't. It
was his first question.
Right. He was like, we can't rely on a missed field goal. We got to seal the game as the defense when we can seal the game. Period. Bottom line, Mamba mentality. That's what I like to see. Let's go.
But you got to love the defensive performance overall. That one play notwithstanding. I mean, that was just something
They
you
were
really
only
love to see.
the only
run
reason they were
defense-
in the game for any of that to matter
Yeah.
late in the fourth quarter was because of the defensive effort over the majority of the game preceding that.
And you talk about like the third quarter collapse. I think we've talked about it quite a bit. It's like how often that becomes just a nightmare quarter for the Cowboys. But and it started to come to fruition. Their first drive, Washington goes down, scores right away, and you're like, here it is.
Here we go.
Exactly.
In the wrong way.
Here we go.
And we're not talking about Tommy Yarsh's fantastic article. Here we go.
No, that's not
Thank
what
you.
we're talking
Shame.
about.
They
Shameless
won
plug.
the third quarter yesterday. When was the last time they did that?
I
Probably
don't
Cleveland.
know.
Literally,
It's probably Cleveland.
maybe
That
was it? Did they win third quarter?
Yeah, I think that because the one touchdown that they did have in the third quarter was the Cavante Turpin 60-yard punt return in that game. So I think they scored
feel
like
like the
10.
Titanic
That Cavante
gift.
Turpin tends to score, doesn't he?
Yeah,
It does.
so I posted a screenshot of that play. Turpin has his foot in the ground and his back turned to the defense at the 10-yard line with 4 defenders within 5 yards of him. A guy on the edge too. How on earth does he score from there? I mean, that
That's
is
a
just
special player, man.
unbelievable.
Nasty work.
That is nasty. That's
Listen,
just
our good
wow.
friend, what's his name? Oh, Kyle Youmans put a fantastic tweet up yesterday, but it's your stats. I'm going to let you read it.
Yeah, Cavante Turpin, 5th player since the NFL merger to have a punt return touchdown, a kick return touchdown, and a 60-plus yard receiving touchdown in the same season.
Who are those other guys?
Well, he's the first one to do it since 2007, and the guy who did it in 2007, his name was Devin Hester, who's now
Enough
a
said.
Hall of Famer.
Enough said.
And not enough said. One more.
Yeah. 2002 and 2003, Dante Hall did it in back-to-back years.
Oh, buddy.
Terrence Wilkins did it for Indianapolis back in 1999, and then 1977, Billy Johnson
Sweet shoe.
did it for the Houston Oilers.
Listen, man.
Pretty wild.
When you are in the same company as Devin Hester and Dante Hall, you might be playing
You're very
some
good at football.
football.
He's very good at football.
That is elite. And I think we've talked about it on this show before. I talked about it whenever he had the 64-yarder. There's other ways to get him involved. Got to get creative in getting him involved because he was not involved offensively in this game
Only
at
one
all.
catch. One catch, 8
At all.
yards.
Exactly. So find a way. He's a weapon.
Get the ball in his hands.
He is a weapon. All right, let's take our first break.
Also,
When we come back, we talked about the defensive side of the ball. I want to talk about Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush posted his highest QBR as a starter at 117.6. What did he do right? What did he do differently from the Philly game and from the Houston game, where it was two very different game plans? He finally found a middle ground and had some success against the Washington Commanders. More Talking Cowboys right after this.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. Back with Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Tommy Yarrish, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. You can make that sound too if you do what?
Buy your oats on the freaking internet, dude, because there's a Quaker code right over there that you use, and you can buy maple brown sugar. You can buy plain. You can buy
apple cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon. Quaker Oats.
The whole
now
shebang.
On the internet.
This side of the table, man, they're having a field day.
They've been waiting for a win. I'm telling you, Tommy, this is your first win.
It's a victory Monday,
This is
baby.
your first victory Monday.
The Yarrish curse is broken.
It's broken. It's done.
The
It
blame
is
can't be placed on me anymore.
No, and you were there.
good.
You were in the building.
I was.
What did you think about your first road rivalry game? First off, road division rivalry game, and then also first road win period for the Cowboys.
And how about that press box, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. This has all been so fun, and that game specifically. I mean, that's the craziest game I've ever seen. Craziest finish to a game, I think. Pretty easily. I know we were talking about Cooper Rush in this segment. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's never gonna, I don't think, wow you with anything that he does.
No,
but he was so efficient yesterday, and I think Mike McCarthy is just looking for him to manage the game well.
Yep.
And sometimes, that game manager label on a quarterback is, some take that as an insult. I don't see it that way, because when you manage the game that well as Cooper Rush has done, you win ball games.
Yeah.
And that's what the Cowboys did. So I thought he was very, very efficient. I thought he was very efficient, really good against man coverage yesterday, 8 of 11 for 129 yards in both of his touchdowns. So you can't ask for much more. And now it's just a question of, can you stack that? Yeah. Can you stack that? Because he made some throws yesterday where you're like, I don't know, Jim. It was in tight coverage a little bit there, but he doesn't turn the ball over, and I think that was the biggest thing. It's big for his confidence going forward. This offense is more confidence with builds more confidence with him after that going forward. CeeDee Lamb said that after the game yesterday. So, and as going to CD too, he leads the team in receiving yards. I think his biggest play was drawing that double team on the Schoonmaker touchdown because he just came wide. Like Luke Schoonmaker's never going to be that open again in his life.
Never.
No.
And that was all CeeDee Lamb drawing the second defender away. So kudos to CeeDee and kudos to Cooper Rush for a really good performance.
Now that they got the tape on Luke Schoonmaker. You know what I mean?
The tape is out.
The tape is out. The blueprint is there.
When it comes to Cooper Rush yesterday, first and foremost, they protected him. And again, like I said, Brock Hoffman, Cooper Beebe, and TJ Bass stepped to the center of the stage because it's just bravo. I will say I need Cooper Beebe and Cooper Rush. I need Cooper and Cooper to get on the same page when it comes to those snaps. That's 3 fumbled snaps. Thankfully, you didn't lose this one, but that's 3 fumbled snaps. The first 2 were on Cooper Rush, but that one from Cooper Beebe that almost went over his head. So good job by Cooper Rush to get that down. Right, killed that drive. But what did Cooper Rush do differently? He got protection, so he had time back there. He was able to go through his reads. But more importantly, or I should say equally as important, is what do we talk about, Kyle and Josh? We talked about air yards, right? Going into this game, Cooper Rush was 0 for 9 in passes of 20 yards or greater. He was not pushing the issue. Now, it was also tied to the fact he didn't have protection.
Yeah. Sure.
But in times where he did have protection, he was still checking it down. And even when it not going to the line of gain, throwing too far short of the chain, so forth and so on. We didn't see that as much yesterday, particularly in the third quarter, when they really started to kind of come along. 2 for 2. He had 2 shots of beyond 20 yards, completed both of those. Completion percentage above expectation, almost 60% on those 2 throws. Fan-freaking-tastic. So now if you're talking about an offense that protects Cooper Rush and gives him an opportunity to look downfield and receivers who are going to make those throws outside of the make those catches outside of CeeDee Lamb, now you're cooking with something. Also mixing in Rico Dowdle being that stabilizing force.
Just very quickly, you see what happens for an offense when your offensive line plays well?
Who knew? Who knew?
You see what happens when... I have only said a million times that games are won in the trenches. Do you see what happens when your offensive line plays well?
All right,
That's
Nate.
all I'll say. Josh, go ahead.
Calm down, Nate.
Hey, that's not a bad try to be like.
Not at all. No, you love to see it from Cooper Rush. You love to see, like you said, the snap that killed that drive. And that was unfortunate because the drive was rolling. Right. But like you saw a lot of what we've seen before, even in the losses, where it's like you're getting down the field, you get in the red zone, and then it goes away, right? It
fades away.
Especially in the first half, you saw that a bit. The blocked field goal right off the snap, to me, that was like, oh, this is the earliest indication of a loss that I've seen this year. I was like, we're going to lose because of that right there. The fact that you were able to come back from that, you were able to come back from Rico Dowdle fumbling right into Bobby Wagner's arms, which was a crazy play. Bobby Wagner still has it.
Not only the blocked field goal, too, but a blocked punt as well.
Blocked punt and then a missed field goal on top of that. One of the craziest special teams games I've ever seen in my life.
And then...
So you saw a lot of those miscues that have killed us over the last 5 weeks, and they kind of reared their head again. But you did see a defense that did not quit. Like, no matter how poorly the offense was looking throughout the entire game up until the third quarter, you saw a defense that was like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to... The relentless is what I saw from the defense. I know we weren't necessarily getting into defense quite yet, but, man, it was just a sight to behold. It really was.
Get into defense if you want to.
I mean...
Because it was good enough to win you the game. And we've talked about that the last few weeks. Philadelphia, Houston. Both of those teams, both of those games, Dallas was down by a possession going into halftime. The defense kept it close enough for your offense in the third quarter to give you some sort of hope. And that hope was not there. No. Destroyed, and you actually didn't end up scoring in either one of those halves. So... with all that being said, you needed both units to step up. Of course, you needed special teams at the end with Kevontae Turpin. You needed all of it. All 3 units were crucial to winning this football game, but it started with the defense. And
they were the tone setter, for sure.
Absolutely. Give credit to Mike Zimmer. Because Mike Zimmer, we've given a lot of flack to him. We've given a lot of flack to some of the guys who stepped up in a big way. Quietly over these last couple of weeks, Mozzie Smith's been pretty good up front.
Yeah.
quietly.
His name was spoken in the press box
couple times,
a couple of occasions.
Maybe it's just the division. Maybe he only plays well against the division. Who knows? But I mean, that's 6 games out of the year. Sounds good. The defensive game plan for the third straight week worked, and I'm gonna qualify it by this: the game plan that's scripted early on and how you got to shut teams down. That's usually the first quarter and maybe a little bit into the second quarter. 3 first halves in a row: Philly, Houston, and now Washington. Your defense has played well, if not good, and I thought they played really, really well against Washington. This was a step above those last 2 games, and they held it for longer. Now, Micah talked about it. That fourth quarter's got to be better. You got to close better from a defensive standpoint, but it wasn't for the lack of an effort and lack of a game plan. They shut down Jaden Daniels, who was on our offensive rookie of the year sort of pace. And then you shut down Brian Robinson Jr. I know he got hurt early, but there was no Austin Eckler. He was inactive for the most part. That was a huge way to keep them bottled up until the fourth quarter, and I think it was a game changer of how this football game was played.
When you look at, going back to your point on Mozzie, I think the most impressive part for me was, he had 19 run snaps, 3 tackles. When he was on the field, Washington was averaging 4 yards a carry. When he was off, 11.5 yards per carry. So he made an impact in the run game. And that was the best number on the team, by the way. That was the lowest number for anybody who played more than 10 snaps in run defense. So you tip your cap to Mozzie Smith.
Might be in big facts this week.
There you go.
Might be.
Which means
I think
it will be.
This was one of, if not Eric Kendricks' best game as a Cowboy.
Love it.
He was everywhere.
That Cleveland game, though.
I said one really of, if not. Yeah. So I'm protecting myself there.
He wasn't here for that, Josh. Give him
this
a
is
break.
number 2 for
there
sure.
You go.
This
Yeah.
is number 2 for sure.
It tied for the lead in run tackles. He had 6. That fumble recovery was huge.
Oh, man.
If he gets it going and he's running around the field and he's himself, then this defense is really good against the run. You've got Marshawn Nealon back, who prides himself on being a good run defender, played well in his first game back yesterday.
How many snaps did he go yesterday? Do you have that
run
in front of you?
snaps, he had 8. Yards per play when he was on the field, 4.1, off 6.6.
Not bad.
So, and if we're looking at that stat, Malik Hooker, get this, 4 run tackles on 24 run snaps. When he's on the field, 5.1 yards per play. When he was off, 23.
Maybe keep him on the field.
Malik Hooker is basically your run defense.
That's basically your safety net is what it is. I mean, he is the safety net.
I think that might have been just literally one play when he wasn't on the field, and it was a 23-yard carry. So,
okay.
That might be the difference.
I was going to say maybe he wasn't on the field for the Terry McLaurin touchdown, the 86 yards, and maybe that had the average blown out of proportion.
Well, this would have been a run play, so it might have been that Daniel scramble, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But nonetheless, a very good game for this run defense. We talked about Josh Butler just having a absolutely incredible performance. Terry McLaurin was taken out of the game half of the time because Deron Bland was over there, even in a limited snap count. So you got to tip your hat to Mike Zimmer.
And I'll also add real quick, and I'll toss it to Josh. You mentioned Marshawn Nealon. I'd be remiss if I didn't speak on Marshawn Nealon's impact that didn't hit the stat sheet, because there are several times, one in particular. So the sack that was attributed to Micah Parsons when he chased Jaden Daniels out of bounds before the line of scrimmage. First of all, Micah's motor. Micah did not give up.
He's nuts.
He was blocked up, and then he got off the block, and there's Jaden Daniels running. Micah could have pulled up and said, you know what, I can't get to that guy.
I know we've seen it before, but he's a monster.
Go and look at that play. It's the third possession for the Commanders. What's happening there is Jaden Daniels is about to take off and run off the edge because Marshawn Nealon is supposedly blocked up. Marshawn sheds his block, gets off of him, forces Jaden Daniels to rethink it and go wider outside. That gives Micah time, who didn't give up on the play, to then change his pursuit angle and chase him down and get that eventual sack by getting him out of bounds before the line of scrimmage. So Marshawn Nealon, the stats bear out that he impacted the game, but even when there are no stats attributed to what he did on a particular play, he was doing some damage. So good job by the Rook.
2 points. Micah Parsons said earlier last week, he said it on his podcast, and I know we've given him a lot of flack. I don't think we're as bad as some other
definitely
shows.
not our show.
I mean, he has his podcast. That's his prerogative. Do what you got to do.
I don't care, man.
One of the things that he said, though, on his podcast is that, like, by the end of this year, we're going to say wow, Dallas really pulled together that defense. Like, they actually have a really good defense. You're starting to see the fruits of that labor come through.
Yeah.
Like, you're starting to see that. I mean, like, even back to the last few losses, you've seen the defense step up in a lot of ways with Micah back on the field. And he was saying it yesterday in his availability after the game is that we're not going to quit. We're not a tank type of team. Like, it's not going to happen. As long as I'm on the field, we're not slowing down for anybody. I don't care about draft picks. So, like, and that's not verbatim, but I just mean, like, the idea is there. I love the mentality that he has going into this season. As bad as it has looked now, the fact that he's not giving up, the fact that the defense is not going to give up, I think you're going to see a good defense by the end of the season because you're starting to see it now. Granted,
I was going to say it's happening right now.
It took a while to get there, but like it's been pretty consistent over the last few games. Granted, they have a really bad like points allowed per game average, but I think that's because early in the season we were getting absolutely killed by some of the best offenses in the league.
No, you've settled down on that side of the ball, and this was the first game that you've kind of settled down on the offensive side as well.
Yeah,
it was kind of the first game you were able to put it together. Really, since the Pittsburgh game, and even the Pittsburgh game, I feel like was more defensive heavy than it was offensive heavy. Yeah, you ran the football and you were able to take time of possession. That was great. You were able to do that in this game too. 35 minutes of time of possession was significant. You established the run and you didn't go away from it. You didn't throw the ball 55 times with Cooper Rush. It was the balanced attack that we've been waiting for, and it kind of settled things in on offense.
And I have
it was good.
one stat speaking to the defense that is absolutely going to floor everybody who's listening to my voice right now. What is one of the main issues? What has been the Achilles heel of this Cowboys? Not just run defense. Missed tackles, which leads to their inability to stop.
They had a great tackling game yesterday.
You know how many they missed yesterday?
4.
2.
Dang it.
Wow.
That's really good.
That's awesome.
Only 2 missed tackles over the course of 60 minutes of Cowboys football. Yeah.
That's the detail. Shots to Jordan Lewis.
I think that's what wins you this game.
Yeah.
Tackling.
That's what wins you this game.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Because if that number's 10...
Oh, you're
could
done.
Be different.
You're done.
I don't know, John. All right.
But instead, it's mustard.
It is mustard. You know what hasn't been?
Here we go.
This is a little dusty, guys. Little dusty. The Smelly sticker helmet that we have. I mean, we've loaded this helmet up the last couple of years. We've had 12-plus wins with this helmet the last couple of years. Probably not, actually, factually, not going to get to 12 wins this year. However, it's good to see this buddy again. We've got some Smelly stickers. We will have our players of the game when we come back after the break. We're breaking out the Smelly stickers. We got to explain it to Tommy. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. When we come back right after this here on Talkin Cowboys.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions? For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment of the show is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back alongside Tommy Yarrish, Josh Rodriguez, Patrik Walker, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. It is time for our Smelly Sticker segment, the Scratch and Sniffs. This is a tradition going all the way back to 2020 with Talking Cowboys, and we've had some great wins with the team. And every time the team wins, we give out our players of the game. And instead of giving out helmet stickers like Ohio State or some of these other schools that do the helmet stickers, we give out scratch and sniff stickers. Like you get a gold star at the end of a day in grade school. That's what we're giving out. So when we do this, we have to relate it to the Smelly sticker. You have to relate it to it. So I'll start things off. I've got a peach here. I've got a peach, and he looks like he's a bashful peach. It's like, oh, did I do that? Did I do that? I'm going to give this to Brock Hoffman because he was the one that was like starting the fight, almost always starting the fight, but he was finishing the fight on the field in between the whistles as well. He came in, filled in great at the guard spot, only allowed the one pressure, and then after he decided to push and shove and maybe rile up some of the Washington Commanders, he said, did I do that? That's the peach that we're giving there.
I like it. I like it. All right. Hand it over.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this one, I picked the Homer Simpson donut.
Nice.
No, one of those guys.
He's going to be playing for us here in a couple weeks.
Homer Simpson?
Yeah, against the Bengals.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We got the Simpsons game.
Mm-hmm. Monday
the
night.
famed Simpsons game. All right, so the donut I'm going to give to, I don't know, I just feel like he likes sweets, maybe. I don't know, possibly. Michael John McCarthy. Because, dude.
Is his middle name actually John?
Yes, I looked it up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
Michael John. Shouts to you, Coach McCarthy, because not only did you have a great game plan, did you come in and the team embodied Mike McCarthy yesterday. They did everything that he always talks about. It just felt like the team surrounded him. He deserves a game ball, in my opinion. He deserves a Smelly sticker because he went out there and did it against his former defensive coordinator and put it on the table and made him look at it. There you go. Mike McCarthy. Shouts to you.
Aggressive.
I love it.
All right.
I'm going with an apple.
Oh.
All right. Why
How
an
pleasant.
apple? Because as it typically goes, when you're a student in class and you're trying to impress the teacher and get into the good graces of the teacher, what do? You bring her an apple. Josh Butler brought Mike Zimmer an apple for class yesterday because this is a guy, and Josh Butler, here's a guy.
Did you not listen to what I told you in the break?
About what?
Isaiah
took Josh Butler.
Oh, okay. Well,
you got it. Whatever.
You're not here, Isaiah.
It's a double Smelly sticker.
He's absent from
class.
class.
It's a double Smelly sticker.
So
He is absent
you got to
from
be
class.
in class. All right. No, we love Isaiah. Really, I didn't hear
He's
that 'cause
running around on our television screen behind
well,
us,
you took the peach. I was going with the peach initially.
To be fair, Patrick was listening to Kendrick Lamar during the break.
He was.
I understand.
Squabble up. All right. So Josh Butler, he came out. This is a guy that was elevated from the practice squad. You don't have Trayvon Diggs. Kalen Carson is made inactive. Deron Bland's on the pitch count, so forth and so on. How's the secondary going to perform? All Josh Butler did was strap Noah Brown. Absolutely strapped him. So, yeah, Josh Butler, he did it in coverage. He did it as a tackler, did it in all the ways. So he presented Mike Zimmer with an apple, and he was teacher's pet yesterday.
Do you know what the mime celebration is about? When he does the mime thing,
no, I'll
ask.
What is it?
Doing that?
Oh, he does that?
Yeah, after, and then he gets the seatbelt after.
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I like
it's
that.
cool.
He's a terrifier.
Was curious if we knew about that already. He was worthy of a double Smelly sticker because he had such a great game.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I've got a cupcake here. I'm going to try to come up with something for this on the fly.
You
but
got it.
I think I've got it. You know, we talk about sweet, but I'm going to talk about icing on the cupcake in this case.
Bars.
Icing on the cupcake, I think, goes to Rico Dowdle because, again, he doesn't wow you in the run game, but he gets you 4.5 yards per carry. Go ahead.
Rico!
Thank you, sir. 4.5 yards per carry to keep. There you go. Thanks, me. He gets you 4.5 yards per carry to keep the offense on schedule and open things up for Cooper Rush. So Rico Dowdle, here's your cupcake, pal.
You just wanted to hear the song.
That's
again.
a tres leches cupcake, if you didn't know.
They don't know what.
Oh.
Rico knows about that.
Facts.
Yes, he does.
You took the peach sticker from me.
What?
You took Isaiah's player.
You took his player.
Don't talk about taking
anything. Why does a peach sticker make a difference?
Turnabout is fair play. You stole from me, I stole from the next
Isaiah?
man. Isaiah must steal from someone else.
Man, what a society we've got here on Talkin Cowboys.
Honor amongst thieves.
Guys, it was fun breaking down a win with you guys. It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Let's do this again, huh?
No doubt. I love
How about you go out there and get another win, huh?
How about in 3 days?
3 days.
Yeah, you got
Thursday.
You got a chance to get 2 wins in 4 days. How big is that?
Cooper Rush talked about it yesterday.
Division wins.
Exactly.
He talked about it last night. He said, you got to get one to get the ball rolling, to get a streak started. You got to get one. He was like, but we also have a pretty good opportunity to get 2 real quick ones if we can go back-to-back against the division. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hit a 2-ball here, knock it down from the mid-range.
Out of nowhere.
Hold the follow-through.
Got plenty of Talking Cowboys this week. Tommy will be back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Breaking it down. It's a Talking Tuesday. We are going to take your phone calls tomorrow as well. And then we've got an all-encompassing Thanksgiving preview on Wednesday. All of it combined into one.
A feast, if you will.
Thanksgiving feast of knowledge.
Nom, 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 nom. That's both
offense and defense.
Yeah.
Making it happen.
Oh, and you got to pet the head too.
All the Quaker Oats in the building, all going to Josh and Talking Cowboys. Glad you were with us here over the last 45 minutes. We appreciate you always listening and always sticking in, win or lose, for the Dallas Cowboys. For Chris Beam in the back, Tommy Yarrish, Josh Rodriguez, for Patrik Walker, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,